Oh, y'all. So while I dropped the link. Question, comments, or smoke. Um, how? So do you guys would you feel some type of way, honestly though, if a man didn't ask you to marry him in a certain amount of time? You think it's gonna hurt your feelings?
I know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know
Like,
mine would.
like,
Yeah.
would you really shack up with a man and just be with him and not married to him?
No,
Not forever.
no. Because my thing is, you got your own, I got my own, and we're gonna be separate until we together. If that's the case, we're not shacking up. Because then
Hmm.
you comfortable. You know what I mean? Because then you like that just breeds problems. Like you comfortable, you got what you like. Why buy the cow when you can milk it for free? So no, I'm good.
Yeah. Well, sis already answered. Love, you think you could just shack up with a nigga for the next 45,
No,
about next 25 years?
I'm gonna live longer than 25 years. You douchebag.
How you what? How you know I was saying you only got 25 years?
Because why would you sit there and give 25? Can I live with a man for 25 years? I can live with a man for 40 years.
God damn. Trigger Mike, what's popping?
What's up, everybody?
How's everything?
Hey there.
Oh, chilling, man, chilling. You know, in here listening. Great show so far. Excellent
Indeed.
topic, bro.
Indeed, brother. What you got, bro? Question, comment, or smoke?
Um, comment, comment.
All right.
So when it was to Dana's point about there always being hoeing, and I'm gonna guess she's right in a sense, but I think what has absolutely changed, we have hit like a fever pitch with society's acceptance of it. Because remember, they had to remove shame for it to get this bad. Um, that's really how we fed into the degeneracy in the first place. So what we used to have was like most of us, if we really want to be honest, our life trajectory happened because of like a shotgun wedding. So yeah, people have been having sex since time immemorial, but somebody was gonna hold that man to task. You got my daughter pregnant, little nigga. You gonna marry? Like you see what I'm saying? That used to be how it went down. You used to do dishonorable things and then get held to honor. Now we don't get held to honor. You know, you just have a baby out of wedlock. It just is what it is. So that is a part of the degeneracy. So it was happening at a much lower rate only because people were far more afraid of fear. Like I mean, fear of the shame that came from society, but it's just a total acceptance of it now that it's changed. So it's absolutely worse. That's what I just wanted to say. Where yeah, people have been having sex since we realized we had dicks and y'all have vaginas, but somebody used to hold you to a much higher standard of what happens after the sex happens, and that's no longer present at all.
No, Mike, just to clarify, the you is us or the you is women?
Us, meaning men and women, like dudes can desert their children, you know, and ain't nobody gonna go grab his neck and bring him to the door like you gonna marry my daughter, you know. So
What Fatty asked this question to the ladies? Let me ask it to you. What will effectuate change quicker? Changing the woman's mindset or men?
women, oh my goodness, I forget how the saying goes, but no society can rise higher than the moral code of its women, something like that. Because
Mm-hmm.
remember, women are now saying that men need to be better. Stop trying to score on me. We shame men for our natural desires. Men are always going to want to have sex with you. And remember, one man on an island can impregnate all the women. So it takes 100% compliance from men to achieve what women are trying to achieve. But if you tell women to respect themselves, so think about it this way: women get what they want when we protect them and teach them how to value their body. They get what they want. They want to be married. They want a dude's provision. They want his protection. So if you save yourself for all of that, you get what you want. Not that I'm telling you what to do. You get a strong provider for your children and a good example and all of those things by keeping your virtue. These dudes, like, be a better goalie. Stop telling dudes to stop scoring. That's never going to happen. Right? I could tell my brother, I can tell my son, I can teach them the right way, but the dude going to come around the corner and sneak and take your box. Or, I don't know him. I'm not responsible for him. Right? So it's always been the moral code of the women and the fathers protecting their daughters. That's why I said dick discipline doesn't actually exist. What existed was a code and a father and a brother standing in the way of that woman. Hey, what's up, little dude? Oh, is Love home? Yeah, little nigga, you better come. My daddy be home at 7. You want to meet her or see her? You got to meet him first. That used to be what stood in the way. It used to be men standing in the way and protecting their daughters, not actually dick discipline. Like, I'm gonna stand there and be looking at some coochie and not hit that shit. That's never happened in history, ever.
Yeah.
And is that why it's easier for women to change, because dick discipline is impossible?
Well, so what I'm saying is that sexual urge and desire is natural for men. Remember, we were animals. We had to create a civilized society for y'all safety. You see what I'm saying? So we did that because people are not just going to come behind me and impregnate my daughter one after the other, and then I'm stuck here taking care of the kid. You see what I'm saying?
So why did the father stop? Why did the father stop playing that role then?
Well, I don't want to get into the
Before you get into that,
Yeah.
why do you have on black gloves? I'm not being funny
I
either.
was gonna ask the same thing.
You cooking?
Yeah, some nigga got on my nerves. I'm chopping his body. I'm joking. I'm fixing a gun right now.
A
So
donut?
it's very oily.
Gun.
Yeah.
Done.
Oh, a gun. I just mine.
Damn, I didn't even realize I had them on. I'm up here waving and shit.
Yeah, I saw the first time we did this. I was like, I didn't want to say
Y'all probably in the
nothing.
back chat like, yo, this dude just caught a body or what?
Was giving murder. So thank
Yep.
you.
Giving murder.
I figured that's what you was doing though.
Okay.
Let me read these real quick.
So yeah, go ahead.
Real quick. Savage with the $2. Get the likes up. They're only 9. I think there was like 60. But still not matching. So we need the likes up, please. Osa the healer. Osa was popping with the $2. What's good, Hamp and the ladies? What up though? You ready for tomorrow? Caesar's Palace with the $10. A Yale Harvard study that said if you were white, college educated women over 30, you had a 20% chance of getting married. Hit 40 and you were down to 0.5%. Just saying.
We're not white women.
Would the sentiment be that black women's number might be even lower?
I don't know. Give us another
Speculates.
chat and then we can discuss it.
Okay. John the Baptist with the $5. Hey, Hemp, I was fast in the 100-meter dash. 0.12. Huh?
I don't believe
12
you.
seconds.
No, that's not
0.12
that's
seconds
impossible.
makes no sense. What's he talking about?
He's like Nightcrawler. He must have appeared at the
Right.
finish line.
He blinked his eye. Now,
That's
see, I can't
Quicksilver,
what else he
yeah.
says after this.
Let me see. He might have meant 12.5, maybe, which is we'll let him.
Stop driving and texting.
If it's a 12, John, you were slow as shit.
Right, like, right, like what? That's not.
But I ran backwards just to prove a point to the competitors. Reverse logic, and I lost every time.
Like with this super chat.
John, bring your ass up here and explain.
Right, like
yourself.
what is
Yeah,
what is that?
I
What
don't-
are you even talking about?
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead
saw
and click that link, brother. We need some elaboration on this.
Love, go ahead. What were you going to ask, Mike?
He said previously the fathers were there in the homes and saying, not my daughter, or whatever. You got to talk to me first. And so, why did the fathers stop? And I'm saying that on purpose. Why did the fathers stop doing that? I don't want to hear about the women's.
The one thing that I can say, if we all have our opinions about this, the one thing I can say is that we gave unilateral power and influence of the children to the woman. That's all I can say. I'm not blaming it on women. What I'm saying is that the person with control over the children is effectually going to control that process. So when we're saying that fathers didn't, if fathers had control of the children, meaning where they went to school, what they eat, where they live, and if they live primarily with fathers, we wouldn't have this problem at large.
Why did they give up control though? They gave up control.
That's not fair. They didn't give up control.
You said it though.
Women get custody. That's what I mean. Women get custody.
That's not what you said, though. I'm going off what you said. So they
All
gave up control.
Women get custody of children. Women
Okay,
get custody of children
Okay.
a majority of time.
So the father doesn't have a say? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. Like, so think about it this way. I was on the show last Friday, and the host was just giving, because she has a good co-parenting situation, she was giving just all these random generalizations. I was happy when my baby daddy got married. I was happy when he found a new woman. And that's not the average everyday situation. What we keep forgetting is that divorce is chaotic. It's turmoil. You took two people that used to love each other, now put them at odds with one another over space, control, who gets the house, who gets the car. You see what I'm saying? So it's supposed to be a civil thing, in logically speaking. Well, we got to do what we got to do for the children, but men will tell you that this woman, there are serious periods where she starts acting up, most notably when he gets a new woman. Now she wants to exert control in one kind of way. He gets a new job. She wants control over that and wants to increase child support. It's a tumultuous situation. So I would love for everybody to have a 100% amicable co-parenting situation, but let the men tell you that's not the way their baby mamas get down.
We'll go back to the person, to the woman you chose, right?
Oh, absolutely.
It goes back to the woman you chose. And ultimately, the excuse of, if I get a woman, then I don't have control, or don't have say so, or I don't do this because I have a new woman. You, as the father, you have rights. You have, and I've said this before on here, you all use that as an excuse because she has put herself in a role that you all unjustly gave her. You gave her that control because you have equal rights to your children. And so whether or not you're going to make the opportunity for you to go out and fight for your 50-50 or whatever it is, that is on you as the father. And that's me being raised. That's me being raised by a single father.
But I will say this, your situation obviously is not common. He did not give up control. The system gave him control. Remember this same system.
No. I'm gonna say this again. I'm gonna say this again because it's not that the system gave him control.
Gave her control.
However, it happened, and he was able to exert his control, his power as the man, to be in a role where he had his children. That was a decision. So it's not about.
I'm sorry, I'm lost. Are you saying that
lost. Let me
a
catch
man can?
Let me catch you up. Let me catch you up. However he got custody of us, his children, he exerted his man control of being the father.
And then you're saying that men that don't have custody of their kids don't fight to have it? Is that?
I'm not saying they do or they don't, but they're using the excuse of the woman that they were with can play this and do that, and they don't have any control to go to court and do whatever. That's an excuse.
Well, it's not about control of going to court. The statistics say no matter what a man. What I'm saying is, no, in most states, especially it's state specific. Actually, it's not even unilateral across the U.S. It's state specific. We know mothers are going to get. Now, let me actually say this. Do you not realize? Well, we realize that divorce and custody of children is a very terrible battle. We forget that men still have a responsibility and an urgency to want to protect the woman's reputation because of the children. I'm not gonna tear. Hold on. I'm not gonna tear her ass up in court and tell her what they did because I don't want my kids to know I did that shit to her.
So I'm gonna say, because she's gonna do it to you. And here's
she is gonna do it to me.
She's gonna do it to you. And so therefore, you being the parent always has to come first. There should be nothing that excuses any reason why you don't fight for your right and your children.
What is the argument? What's the argument that's happening?
My thing is, when men say the woman, because you get a new girlfriend, she can do this and she has control and this and that. That's the control that you give her. Because the only person you have control over
a judge literally gives that.
Is it assumptive in the courts that the women get the children?
It is not an assumption. What it is as I said before, when you go to court, let's just say it's a custody. If me and Trigger Mike, we divorce and he don't show up to court, or he does not say, I want 50-50 custody, he don't get it. If he don't show up because of whatever reason, he doesn't get it. He doesn't have an opportunity to say, I want custody of my kids. If you using the fact that, oh, I don't want to tear her down in court. But the fact of the matter is, if she's not a good mother, why are you not fighting for your kids?
You added a lot of layers to it. Just
no,
now.
there's no layers. It's
now,
the bottom line is
what I will say. Hold on. What I will say is that is not even. We're not even talking about the norm. The norm is most of these situations are settled out of court, and most men do have what joint custody of their children.
Well, you just said, Trigger Mike, that
well, hold on.
No. I'm not gonna let you do that because you do that.
Can I explain myself?
The
outliers are what we're talking about.
When you came on here, you stated that a woman dictates certain movements with the children. Okay,
yes.
You said that. Then
they have physical custody of the children.
No, then you went on to say that they do that because all of a sudden it has to do something with the fact that he's with a new woman. The reality is you gave her that control because you did not make decisions to get and be in control of your children. You are in control of your children and their movements. You are not in control of her. If she's acting out or she's not raising your kids, then you need to go to court and be what you're in control over. And that's
let me ask you the process that you were just talking about, that if the courts give her physical custody, we have joint legal custody, but she has physical custody because they got to go to one school, right? So if she has physical custody, I get to dictate as a man what goes on in her house, and the woman can't say shit. And if she does, I should go to the free court and get the free lawyer to go get my children. That's what you're saying?
No, what I'm telling you is you need to use your right and your control over your movement with your children and make that decision.
Right. How much is that supposed to cost the average man to do that?
You're going too far deep.
You're killing me. Wait. Hold on a second. So
because all this shit is supposedly free.
Where did this argument come from? What were we trying to prove or disprove in the first place?
I'm trying to prove the fact that blame the mother or the woman because of a single parent, because they divorced over the fact of how children move and how you rear children. That is an excuse.
But what was the point we were arguing?
It started off with why do the men leave the household? And then we went down the hugest rabbit hole ever.
I mean, Ro, your sentiment is these numbers are the numbers because men aren't fighting.
Yes. So just like he gave the example,
yes, I can't. Y'all talked about it too. We blew in the face. We wasn't even talking.
Yes. Right. If it's the reason, if that's the reason why, I guess women are sexual liberation is out there because of the fact that there's not a man to hold them accountable and say, no, you can't impregnate my child. You got to marry her. That's an excuse. That's an excuse.
And you're saying because men should be around their children,
regardless.
And they can if they fight for it.
Yes.
Do you believe that now men should have custody, meaning they should have preferential custody of their children? Do you believe that, Ro?
Absolutely.
Well, yeah. So, let me, before you answer that question, it don't got to be long. It don't got to be long. It doesn't. It does not. Okay. The answers. So do you agree with what Trigger Mike's saying? If the men were around, these daughters wouldn't be acting like how they are.
I agree with that because I said that.
So if you agree with that, then you also agree that children should largely be allocated to their fathers?
I believe that at a certain age they should, to be honest with you, yes. Okay. I believe it during their teenage years. I do believe that, yes.
Okay. Caesar's Palace with the $5. Statistics show that women win child custody rights at a staggering 90% of the time. Even though fathers play an important role, you can look this up. Double R Films with the $5. Ro, respectfully, you were given a lot of bad information on marriage, sex, and custody.
Well, thank you, but as I said, I was raised by a man, and I went through.
Savage with the $5. Ro, you're wrong. I fought for 2.5 years to get my daughter, and her mom was on drugs and went to rehab twice in the court allowed it.
Aren't you a criminal? Didn't you go to jail?
OMAC with the $5. Black women are the first to have a baby out of wedlock, last to get married, and the first to get divorced. The system is very biased against men. Black America with the $5. Men only get the children when the mom is a drug addict, in jail, or abuse. Here in Vegas, you can spend tens of thousands to fight for your children.
That's not true.
Still low key 21 with the $5. Lawyers are the first to tell men not to fight. You'll be out of 30 grand and still lose 90% of the time. Ro, what are you talking about?
But men are the ones paying this money, Ro. That's what I'm saying. They're paying, and you're not listening. They're paying the money.
Research, Mr. Research. I see you, good brother.
Is it? Hey,
what's up, Uncle Jeff? Well, I had Hood Mystic up.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out how to make this more succinct of a conversation.
You can
whenever we
out from this research if you want to.
Okay. All right, you chilling, or you about to get out and you about to go finish cutting that body up? Okay.
Yeah, while I'm doing that, I
don't need about 60 seconds, bro.
You want to address this, Uncle Jeff? All right, all right, Trigger Mike, I got you. I'm gonna bring you back up.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Did you say hi to me? You know I'm sensitive.
Hey, brother Hamp. Hey, panel.
Hey,
Sister Ro, I'm not trying to start no fights in here.
Yes, you are.
But I can tell you firsthand that what you are saying is just categorically inaccurate. And I am not an absent father. I don't have a parking ticket. I'm a veteran and an involved father. And I have lost 4 pieces of property, 6 cars, and $125,000 cash money fighting to stay in my children's lives. And I'm not the only one. In order for you to be accurate, the Minnesota Bar Association has to be wrong. The Illinois Bar Association has to be wrong. The California and Louisiana Bar Associations all are dealing with family court gender bias cases in class action lawsuits as we speak. That would mean this school bus full of people has to bow down to the anecdotal bootstrap logic of your father, who I give all praise to. I was that dude. I am that dude. I can sit here and tell you chapter and verse how to get around the bias, how to circumvent the bias, how to get in front of the bias before you hit it. But to say that it does not exist, sister, is disingenuous. And I just don't know where you're getting that from.
I never said it didn't exist. You got to listen. And if you're going to respond, you got to listen to what I said. I never said, I never talked about bias. We know that the courts are biased between Black people, period. I never said anything about the fact that the court system is set.
Bro, my last question to you, I asked that to clarify.
What was your
Remember,
question?
I said you're saying if men fight, the numbers would not be so skewed. So if you're saying yes to that, then by nature of that, you're saying the court's not biased. It's just that men aren't fighting.
I didn't. That does not mean that the courts are biased, Hamp. What I'm saying is, whatever you're doing, you need to fight for your children. And however that happens, it needs to happen where you are following the rules, showing up to court, doing what you're supposed to be doing for your kids.
And that will get you an outcome separate than what most of us are getting. It seems like that's what you're implying. And what I am telling you is that on the day that my children were taken from me on a lie, I was there on time. I was dressed well. I am as articulate as I sit here now. I did not have a warrant. I didn't have a parking ticket. I did have a clean, dry, safe place for them to live. I was an active father with the principal at one of my children's school and with the counselor or the dean of students at the other. When my ex-wife lied and said that she thought that I was abusing my son. And my son was taken from me, and so was my daughter. And for 1 year, My kids lived around the corner from me, and it was illegal for me to speak to them. Me. They had rooms in my house. They had clothes in my house. I basically had to watch a ghost of my relationship over a lie. So for you to say this, sister, I'm not sure what state you're discussing. I'm not sure what time you're discussing. But again, there are 5 bar associations in 5 states overrun right now. Somebody look it up if I'm lying.
And you're not lying, but again, you're talking about states that already have been charged for biased cases, regardless of what the case is.
Miss Rose, hold on 1 second, Mr. Research, real quick. Hey, Mystic, I don't know if you wanted to talk about this specifically. You want yeah, you can say something. Do you want? Is it okay if Mr. Research jumps in on this? Did you want to talk about this specifically?
I was just talking about the topic of marriage, but
okay,
y'all could go off though. I'm here.
Okay, all right, no doubt. Mr. Research, then sis, go ahead.
All right, appreciate it. Let me throw an uppercut in here. Opinions are feelings. So when a person is proud that they got opinions, let it be known that you're proud that you're talking about feelings. You're not talking about data. You're not having an educated conversation. So respectfully, when you introduce this, Ms. Rowe, you're introducing it in a way that you're suggesting it's valid for the lived experience of these court cases, and that's not true.
I'll say this again. I'm gonna clarify
Miss Rose. Just give me 30 seconds.
Very slowly for you.
Okay,
I never said it was.
Bro, you said.
I don't want him misquoting me. I never said it was.
We can't because we recapped it a few times. So
he needs to listen because nobody.
All right, let him. I'm listening. Let me listen more closely because I think I do a better job of seeing what's what and if they're actually saying what it is that you said. Mr. Research, go ahead, state what you were saying real quick.
All right. So it isn't about what you said. It's the fact you introduced it at all. Let me make that clear. It's not about the substance of what you said. So there are 8 books in family law. Did anybody on stage know that? So there are 4 books for unmarried people, and there's 4 books for married people. Respectfully, for you even suggesting the context, it's kind of like you got to read up on how and why these things happen. And I'm gonna land by saying this: 1985, Ronald Reagan changed the laws. So Jimmy Carter, his welfare plan, he changed it to a 2-parent home. Ain't that what the Black community wanted? He changed it to a 2-parent home. He brought the man back in the home. Ronald Reagan and Margaret Hessler changed it back to a 1-parent. Let's start right there. Now, when we come into these divorces, when Ronald Reagan created no-fault divorce, he quadrupled divorces. This is data. This ain't about opinions and feelings. This is stuff that's researchable. Anytime I come on these stages, I try to give stuff that we actually read so that we can have better conversations. Because if we just talk about anecdotal and I feel and what happened in JoJo County, then we're not having a nationwide conversation. We're having a very limited what's happening on your street conversation. And I'm going to end. These things happen. And yes, a man can go get a second job, hire a private detective, do all this stuff that Usher did. And in the end, guess what the system wants to do? Make sure the mother wins 8 out of 10 times. That's what Jeff was trying to say to you. And that's the unfortunate part of family law as a whole.
Sis, you wanted to jump in? Can I read these real quick?
Yeah, I'm just saying, and it kind of boils down to who Uncle Jeff chose. I mean, a lot of women are not dragging men like that. I mean, it sounds like he got drugged to the highest degree, and that's just who he chose. That's what it boils down to. That's what I think. And then what research is talking about, why are you leaving the home? Why are you getting divorced? Men are stepping outside of their marriages, creating chaos within the marriage. And then when a woman wants to leave because of the chaos he created, now we got this victim shit going on here.
Okay, so that's a valid point. So that's a valid point. But watch this. Watch me.
Hold on, Mr. Richard. Let me read a couple super chats real quick. Real quick. Sis, you were done, right? Now, Ro, you see how sis laid that shit down? 30 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Strong. We can remember all of it. Take the number from the sisterhood. Mo with the $10. When you separate from when you separate from the father, why would you as a mother take the child away from him? You've made the ultimate decision that the child or children belong to you. Osa the healer with the $5. I got 50-50 legal custody of my daughter in divorce. I went to court, asked for 50-50 physical, and was denied. Never been to prison. OMAC with the $5. In the divorce system, the man pays for everything, including the women's attorney's fees. Really? Tax penalties, properties, and investments. Ro, you are wrong. Go ahead, Mr. Research.
So, just real quick, if what you said was true, why is it that majority of the cases that women file, because they file 80% of these, don't file cheating as the reason?
Well,
If what you said was true, no, let's rock with some data. Why would they file irreconcilable differences? Why would they just not? Because you have a category of cheating. Why would you not file as cheating?
Wow.
So what you're saying is a fabrication. It's a unicorn that nobody can find a map to. So if these people were cheating and the man was leaving the home, because remember I said Jimmy Carter had a 2-parent home, 1979 Welfare Act. Ronald Reagan changed it. This is why Texas is now getting rid of the Ronald Reagan law in their state.
Well, y'all following these white men. You could stay married if you choose to. So I don't know what you keep mentioning these white people for, and these presidents, and they're still in control of you, you know. But what you were saying, okay, so if cheating is not the reason, what is the reason?
I just said it's irreconcilable differences. We just
Which
can't
could
get
be
along.
what?
That's what they follow the most. And it's not about white people, it's about the law.
Which
so black
could be
folks,
what,
black folks, we got to understand, just because a person like me mentions the law and data don't mean I'm trying to act white.
I didn't say that. What I said was you're mentioning these rules and these different laws and policies these white folks made. That's what I said. But what I'm saying is what are these differences? What are these specific differences? If you can't name those, how do we know it's not cheating?
No, okay. This is the last thing I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna move the mic because I don't want to hog the mic. My lady, what I'm saying is, if it was cheating, they would file it as so. Period.
That's not necessarily true, because it could be a lot of different things that came after.
Yeah, but we can't do could be and maybe in law. In law, there is no could be and maybe. You file if DJs hits me in the mouth, I don't sit up here and say, "Hey, he was standing next to me." I said he assaulted me.
But what I'm saying is differences is not specific to anything. Is that correct?
So you got it.
I'm asking you, is that correct? I mean, is that specific to anything?
Sis, are you saying it could include cheating with a host of other things?
Absolutely.
Sis, question. To the ladies on the panel, yes or no, quick. Love, is cheating a reason you breaking your relationship?
No, not.
No, right? Ro.
Yep.
Nay?
No.
Tay?
No.
Dana?
No.
Sis?
Maybe not the first time.
So does that maybe lend to the fact that women are saying like cheating is not the reason why they're divorcing? Not saying you're wrong, but just anecdotally speaking, using the panel of diverse, black women, it kind of makes sense what he's saying.
And I disagree to that. I think that we let a lot of things slide and go, but when shit continues, I think, especially like that, I think we will make a decision at some point, or either the man will make it for us and emotionally just leave the situation, and then we have no other choice. So what would be a reason you would leave? Nay, Tay, Love.
Good question.
Good question. And I would say
quick.
Go ahead.
No, yeah, quick.
Repeated cheating, mismanagement of funds. Like it could be a pile on, but mismanagement of funds.
What's
and
first? Give
repeated
her the
cheating.
first one. The number one. Love.
Cheating, repeated cheating, egregious.
Excessive. Row. Oh, cheating. Nay.
Extreme toxicity with no resolve.
I know you just wrote a book. Speak English.
Like fighting. Like
You saying abuse?
yeah.
Yeah. Just say that, Nay, for the people in the back.
Yeah.
All of us as C students, we try to act like we ain't. Tay.
Now I would say abuse. I'm not staying for that.
Dana.
Same. Serial cheating.
Okay. Sis.
And would abuse involve mental and emotional? And doesn't cheating, somebody being disloyal to you, doesn't that bring that on? 9 out of 10, absolutely yes.
Mr. Research, reply.
Yeah, the only thing I would say, sis, you have the open-ended way of doing it. It's like nothing is finite. It's always like the maybe, could be, and possibly. So it's like some things are very finite, especially in law. You know, it's like, look, Obama did something for brothers that brothers don't even realize. He created something called a COPE system. And what the COPE system allows you to do is, for whether it's the family, whether it's the married guys or the non-married guys, it allows you to pay your principal minus your interest and late fees. And a lot of people don't even know about it. You know, the whole he never did nothing for us type of thing. But it's called COPE. In most places, they just call it COPA, but it's somewhere around those in those things. I'll just say this, sis. It's not as easy as people think. I got hit with somebody that ain't even my child. So I had what's called a father of record, where I wasn't there for the birth. She didn't file until this child was 13. And when the DNA was done, I'm not even the kid's father, yet the darn court is still coming after me.
You signed the birth certificate? I'm sorry.
My lady, what?
You signed the birth certificate?
I just said no. Wasn't there for the birth. Didn't sign no birth certificate. Nope, none of that. So father of record is a real thing. You got people on YouTube paying 75 grand for a kid that the government knows is not theirs. 50 G's. I got hit with 50 G's. All that type of stuff. Because what happened is, when Obama changed the law with E-Verify, for the very first time, it created a loophole to where you can attack people in different states. And a lot of people didn't recognize that part of the game, because we're not really politically reading people. You know, we just kind of just living life. So when I got hit, I was like, what is this? Wait a minute. Hold on. Why is my bank account getting seized? That's how I found out about it. My bank account got seized. So respectfully, there's these elements of the game you ladies will never go through, because when you file for Social Security services, you automatically, just like the brother Trigger said, you get a automatic free lawyer that you don't have to pay for. Now, when you on the married side, it's totally different. But the unmarried people, all they got to do is file with social services, and now the state takes on the case. And majority of the time, that person is fighting for the state funds that they have given the mother. It's not.
Are you talking about a pro bono lawyer?
Say again, my lady.
You talking about like a pro bono lawyer, public defender?
No,
that's not the same.
No, that's criminal.
Yeah, two different ones. But are you talking about that for family court as far as custody, or for the marriage and divorce part?
No, when you're unmarried and you file with the Social Security Service Department, and they give that lady funds, funds, keyword. Now you get appointed a representative, a court representative, to get the reimbursement of those funds. Full stop.
For clarity, Mr.
Yeah, not in Connecticut, but
real quick. Father of record for the men who don't know, I don't know what that is. What is that? Does that mean the ladies just said you were the father on a piece of paper somewhere?
New York has that. So yep.
Is that how?
Yeah.
Just let Miss Nay tell you. Go ahead, Miss Nay.
Well, I can speak to two. In New York, I was able to do that. My son's father did not have to sign a birth certificate, and I did that, and he got on child support automatically. But then they made him take a test, so obviously it was fine after that. But automatically he got taken for child support because he was the father I put on record. In Connecticut, to your point, Mr. Research, there was no getting no free attorney or any of that. I have another situation. So I'm on the side with the men because everything that y'all have experienced, I've experienced exactly the same thing as the men. Exactly the same thing. So I got it both sides where it's like, oh, it's favorable for me as a mom in New York, but in Connecticut, absolutely the hell not. And I have no criminal record. Somebody that's had a criminal record has been able to take my child and spend money for an attorney, and they've been able to take my child. So I can relate to the men in that aspect.
So when Roe was, you can fill out an application to add a father to the birth certificate.
Yeah, I don't know about that in Connecticut. I just know about that for New York, and I did that.
Michigan.
Yeah, did you guys see that national case in Michigan?
No.
Where they had the guy. Yeah, so just basically the same thing that happened to Mr. Research, or that Nate did, and then what happened I guess, like she just put him on record, and he was getting chased down. Yeah, I think he actually got arrested.
My son's father got arrested. I had it happen. So
let me read a couple of these.
And I guess the whole point that I'm making is it's not that easy the way some people try to make it, and it is state to state. Shout out to Nate for bringing that up. It is a state to state thing, but the unfortunate thing is how we got here is that more of us black men need to understand politics. So when you have somebody like a Jimmy Carter who makes this whole father in the home thing, you support that person. You may not believe in voting, but go make sure that person stays in office. We can't have this situation where the black community, ladies included, we want stuff, but then we not know who is supporting the stuff that we want. And that's the reason I came up to get some data on that, so people in the chat room and who listen to the replay can look up the research.
No doubt. John Henry with the $2. What's popping? It's always Jerome's fault. Caesar's Palace with the $2. Sis, black women leave 2 times more than any other race. Cupcake Zone with the $2. Sis with the gaslight for 3. Typical sisterhood. Caesar's Palace with the $2. Sis is the reason black men have bad image, I feel. I don't know. I didn't really get that from that. I felt like some of the points allowed for Mr. Research to bring out more information. And then they kind of just put something on it. I think we actually got more out of that than we want to admit. At least I did, because I was listening. Hood Mystic, I appreciate your patience.